And we're live. Hello, Casey.
Welcome everyone.
Aboard. Second week in. That's pretty cool. But if anyone is just joining for the first time, we are here every week. Well, 2 weeks in a row so far, but it's a how to master faceless videos live tips and feedback session. So if you're a Syllaby content creator and you're looking to boost your YouTube channel in views, in affiliate sales, in anything that to do with growth, then you're in the right place. We're here to help you with different strategies, different tips, how to streamline your content creation process. And then if you have any questions that you'd like to ask, feel free to write them in the chat, or if you'd like us to review your own YouTube channel, then send us the link via the chat and we can have a look at that as well. We have a special guest tonight, Eli, who we're just waiting to join the call, and we're going to look through his account, but also get some tips from him as well. So I guess we'll wait for him to join, but in the meantime, if I can see there's a couple of people online watching, so hello everyone. If you're watching, you can leave a little comment in the chat and we can see who's there. Here we go.
Hey, how's it going, fellas?
Hey, Eli. Nice to see you. Welcome.
Nice to meet you, Greg. Good to see you again, Jason.
Good to see
you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Nice day.
Yeah.
Getting some views.
And whereabouts in the world are you?
Eugene, Oregon.
Okay, cool. Nice one.
Yeah. How about you guys?
Well, I'm in Cologne, Germany.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
We have Nicole with us. Hi, Nicole.
Hey,
Nicole. Then I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, right on.
Cool. Well, I just did a little introduction to everyone watching, but maybe Eli, you can introduce yourself because, or maybe Casey, you want to introduce Eli. Up to you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Eli. I'm a internet marketer for a couple decades here. I started doing some content creation sometime last year as kind of a side hustle hobby kind of thing. I was saying in the Facebook group the other day, I'm not a very creative person, so I needed an outlet to kind of work on, my least qualification. So I'm purely analytical, and so I've just kind of been getting into the content creation thing. I think I made a smart move, and I went with TikTok first. I've done Instagram before and built it up, but to really get creative, I went with TikTok and saw some success there and did pretty good. Ran about 7 channels at one time. I think I had quite a few busts as well, probably in the tune of like 14, 15. And I don't know how many views I racked up. Conservative guess, probably, I'll say for conservative wise, about 50 million, because, if I say like, 80 million or something like that, then someone will be like, no, you got like 78, I added them up. So I'll say conservative 50 million across about 7 channels or so. But I've been working on that, and since all the news about TikTok and everything lately, I'm sure we'll get into it. I've kind of decided to move on to YouTube, like a lot of other creators on TikTok have. So that's what I'm here to discuss today. Tell you guys all about it.
Cool. I'm very curious. Why the move to YouTube? Why are people moving?
Well, I'm sure you've heard in the news about the TikTok ban going through Congress, and across my channels, they really vary by the audience and the length of your videos and stuff like that. But the RPMs, which is the revenue per milli, ranged anywhere from my low end channels would get like 89 cents per 1,000 views, and so my higher end channels would get about $1.26. And then about 2 days after the ban got passed through the Senate, they all dropped down to about 2 to 4 cents per thousand. And then TikTok has always also been kind of finicky about payout stuff. Again, we can get into that if you want. We can really dive into the weeds, but they've always been kind of finicky and a little tricky about how they pay out, what they pay out on, and stuff like that. And so a lot of the accounts started doing pretty poorly, and it wasn't just me. It was across everyone was streaming across all the Discord groups, and with the payouts being as low as they are, it just became like, oh well, this isn't worth it. You go from making like tens of thousands a month on a single channel down to like $100, but you're working even harder to get more to get that. Then it's pretty tempting to switch platforms over to YouTube. That's pretty fairly consistent through the years, but you go into it understanding that like YouTube is a lot more in depth, takes more time, more work, and stuff like that. So, but who knows? I'm new to it. I'm going to take the punches as I get them with YouTube. I'm sure there's plenty.
Yeah,
that's good. It's really interesting to know. So then, how long have you been using Syllaby, and how did you find out about it?
About 3 weeks now, 4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks. Yeah, so I just crossed my 30 days like Sunday. So I'm like at like 33 days, 32 days, something like that. Yeah. How about you guys? Have you been using it for a while? Like it hasn't been out that long, has it?
No, I've been using it for about just over 3 months. And Casey, sort of similar, right?
yeah. I was August 1st.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, and you guys have been having some pretty good success with it, I saw.
So far,
Like,
a lot of learning.
Yeah. What have you learned from like just going through and using Syllaby for? I assume you guys use it for most every video you post. What have you learned on your own through Syllaby that like you feel would be very like helpful to people who don't know?
I would say, I would say like taking too much time on the production process, the content creation process, is not always needed. Because quite often when you make mistakes and you publish anyway, they're the videos that end up getting more engagement because people call out what's wrong with it. So you can take advantage of that. So that would be one thing. I think the aim to get perfection is something that is not necessarily something you should try to avoid. Try to just get out there, create content as quickly as possible. Just the main thing is just being consistent. I think that's the big thing. And the other thing that I've learned, which I would definitely recommend to other people, is if you found a niche and you're focused on a niche, try not to branch off into a different tangent or a different niche within the same channel, because there's a bit of echo on my side. Sorry, but I say that because there's well, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've lost a lot of views and a lot of momentum for doing that. So so I would say that try to stick to your own niche. Yeah.
So you basically just kind of treat it like a factory, like, make as much as possible, more videos, more views.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely when it comes to shorts, at least.
It's a pretty great tool for that. I used to make these like Mid-Journey style, videos, and I can vouch it takes a long time. It's also not that much cheaper going directly to like Mid-Journey and then putting these in and taking them out. Like, I would spend probably anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours on a single TikTok video, making the same exact style as Syllaby does. It's not as easy. You have to prompt out something like, ancient Egypt style. You have to prompt that out and then hit regenerate a bunch of times to get the image you want. It's not as easy as just clicking the style on the thing and saying go. So I'll definitely vouch for that. What do you think? Oh, what do you think, Casey? How about you? Got anything?
Probably I'm going to so for this month I went really content crazy. Next month is going to be more content focused. So like next month I'll probably do a 10-minute kids video. Hopefully if the new Lego mode is out, I'll do that on Mondays. And then Wednesdays I'm going to do I'm going to do videos that will show up in Google search. So highly searched videos. And then those are probably going to be 8 to 10 minutes a piece on those. And then Fridays I'm going to do longer form controversial. So like 25 to 35 minutes. And basically just generate 4 videos from Syllaby and then use CapCut to smash them together.
So what would be an example of like a controversial video? Is that like a celebrity thing or a modern?
So like the one I'm doing the one that's ranking right now or doing really well for me is it's the banned book in the Bible, and like 25% of the people are watching the full 35-minute video. So it's racking up hours.
Yeah.
So I want to do more of that style. Like
so like the Enoch stuff kind of topics.
Yeah. So like the other one that's doing good is Mary the Virgin, Did She Die?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Did that work for you?
Yeah, that one's got like 3,300 views. The hours aren't near as good because it's a 9-minute video, but I was also trying to figure out which type of videos would do better. So we'll see.
Casey, have you been using music in the background?
Yeah, so I used Suno to generate I did piano church music on Suno and just had it generate me a 4-minute music deal, and I uploaded that to Syllaby. So just let it go because it'll continue to loop the whole time.
That's good. Have you guys used the inbuilt tunes in Syllaby? No.
The what?
The inbuilt music that you can put in the background. Okay. I've used it, but I've just it's taken me a bit of practice just to figure out the right volume of it. I turned out like the loudest volume of music is just too overpowering. So I think the middle or lowest would be the best one to go with if you're looking at using it.
I have music in all of my videos, no matter what. Some of them are like so low volume, you really don't even notice them. But I usually have even more than one song in or at least more than one music in every single video, no matter how short it is, because the change up in the song is something that retains attention, even if it's super subtle, and I use that as somewhat of a tool. Again,
Yeah,
that's
my
kind of back to the thing where that's more of a TikTok strategy, but it's harder on TikTok because you can't get any music through.
Yeah.
Unless it's their music added.
On my last short, I ended up pulling it into CapCut, just adding different sounds at different positions just to see what it would do.
How to do?
And also adding different effects. It still stayed around 450 views, which I'm still waiting for them to do the 3-minute shorts. I made like 40 videos for that, and without it taking effect, I just put them all as unlisted. And so I've released one short since in the last week. So
yeah, actually, just this morning, my 3-minute. I only did one 3-minute short. I noticed it had it did nothing. Like it got no views on the shorts feed, or no reach on the shorts feed, no reach on the browse, like nowhere. It was like the worst combination of both. And then this morning,
yeah,
it kind of popped up in both. It still hasn't classified itself as a short, but it did start getting short feed reach today. So that's interesting. Nothing like notable. Like I didn't blow up or even give me a normal amount. Like it didn't even like reach me to 1,000 like a normal video. It it just kind of like bumped up to like 400 and started showing. So it's something. It's interesting. I don't know.
mine's at 17 views. So I left the one I did on the 15th just so I know when it converts over.
Yeah, there was on TikTok there was a major push. I believe sometime maybe it was this year, like in January. Excuse me. Where they started pushing the 1 minute plus videos. And they're still on that. Like I haven't had a single video go viral that's under a minute since that happened. So, one of the little TikTok tricks is to go with what they're trending, like what they roll out as features. They always will, make it the priority, and they start prioritizing it. So if they say, hey, we want 1 minute videos, then they're not going to let any videos go viral that are under 1 minute. So they really want everyone to, when they say like, doing TikTok shop videos, if you start doing TikTok shop right now, you'll like your videos will go, they have a great chance of going viral just for that reason. I had several that went viral just because they were TikTok. They were like the stupidest videos ever. So you just got to hit those timing on the features that they roll out, and you'll probably do pretty good on all that stuff.
Could we explore some of the channels that you own, or even the YouTube channel that you've got now?
Sure. Actually, I have one open right now. I'm going to do and I can, if you want, I can kind of dive into,
Yeah, share your
critique my own
screen.
videos. Yeah, let me grab. Actually, let me log out of this one and go to a non-niche one. There's a lot of stupid niches like Rick and Morty, stuff like that. I want to go to a little more general. Okay. How do you share screen on this thing? Oh, here we go. Alrighty, is that viewing okay?
Yep.
Yeah, looks good.
So this is just a general audience meme channel. So this is one of the tougher niches is memes, because you gotta be fast to them or you get hit with the unoriginality flag. So this channel is constantly battling unoriginality, and to be honest, I have not put a lot of effort into this channel in like 6 months or so. Like since it kind of died out from the band, this channel is almost worthless. But it grew extraordinarily fast. I think I made $7,000 in my first month, and progressively more every month after that. It's the purpose of this channel. Like what I really do is I take videos that did not go viral. I take it from YouTube, YouTube. I'd even take some from TikTok. Twitter, Instagram, stuff like that. And I'd find stuff that really didn't go viral and didn't do well. But when I watched the video, I'm like, oh, I could have done that better. Like I'll give you an example here, and this will kind of reiterate. We'll kind of. Is it okay if I play the video?
Yeah, sure. I guess we won't be able to hear
Yeah.
the sound, but
No, he shared
Oh,
a
you
single
can't hear the
tab,
sound?
so it should work.
okay.
All right, tell me if you can't hear the sound.
This next guest is the
we
fucking
can hear it.
Wiggles. Keep those pits open. Keep those pits open.
Yeah, so this is Kid Leroy, who is popular on TikTok. And he's like a rapper guy or something out of Australia. And he brings the Wiggles into one of his concerts. And this was kind of all over, there was a lot of videos on it. And first he introduces the Wiggles, he hypes up the crowd. And then he introduces the Wiggles. And then he goes, like, this is the effing Wiggles, like he screams it. And then they come out and they sing like probably one of the greatest songs of all time, Fruit Salad. And it never did much. Like if you look it up and you find the video, like they really, like the top one has like 100,000 views, something like that. And I said, hey, some of them show where he's hyping the crowd. And then others show when he introduces the Wiggles. And then the other ones show them just singing Fruit Salad. And I put it right at this is the effing Wiggles. And like really loud right at the beginning hook. And it went up to 9.7 very quickly. And as with TikTok, everything is semi-luck. So one of the first people to repost it was Doritos. And they also commented, and then that immediately just flooded in comments. People were like, why is Doritos reposting a video that cusses? But this is probably one of the few, like, I've reposted it since, so it's gotten over 10 million views, but it's one of the few like 10 million view videos that like has all positive comments. You can go read the comment section, and there's just tens of thousands of comments. They're all positive. That's like one example of how to just any video can do well, or most any video can do well, as long as you like time it right. Like just a simple edit of this is where I want to start the video, especially on TikTok, can send something mega viral. And this one actually had a huge RPM too. I made really good money with this one. A similar example of that would probably be this one. Lowrider fights. So I don't know how loud that plays in your guys' screen, so I apologize.
that was
all
perfect.
good. Yeah.
That's pretty. A lot of this is kind of repurposed here. This one is another example of. This isn't like a very original. In fact, it's a quite boring video of Trey Parker with his family doing voiceovers for South Park. It's really not that exciting of a video, but it went viral because when I start the video, it's right as she's screaming into the mic, and people are, "What did she just scream?" And then the video is actually pretty funny if you like watch it through. So that's sending it pretty viral. I have a great example is, and I reposted this on TikTok, is using the sound effects. I just got this dragster who gets his throttle stuck video, and it did really good on my YouTube. And all I did was just put the sound effects in, kind of like Casey was talking about. I have a couple really good examples I'd like to show you. One is this one went viral because of the music. It's the dumbest video ever. Or it didn't go viral. I think it went viral on another channel, but 179 is pretty good on this channel. Where is
So are you posting
I have
sometimes
one
the same
where,
content on different channels?
yeah, definitely. If I feel like a video should have done better, or I can learn from the data of the analytics. I always watch the analytics. I look at the drop off points and everything, and I say, oh, I just messed that up. Like I could have added in a sound effect, a music change, transition, 5 seconds before that, or 1 second before that, or even half of a second before that, and it would have changed the outcome of this video. I'll have a video that has like a super low, like 8% retention. So watch total video rate is only like 8%, but I see that they all dropped off at the last 2 seconds. And before that, I had like a 25% watch total video rate. That which is huge. That can any video with that is probably going to go viral. So I just all I do is just snip off the end. I don't care if the user gets no satisfaction out of missing the ending. Most of the time, people are like going off of it because they don't care anymore about the ending, right? So they're like, this is interesting, this is interesting, this is interesting. Okay, I already know what's going to happen. I have a good feeling. I don't care. And they just swipe, you know. So all I got to do is just retrim it and put it on another channel, as long as it has a fitting, follower base, and it'll probably do a lot better. So it's just really learning from my own mistakes,
Yeah, and are you using the TikTok editor or like CapCut to do all your stuff?
I use now I would use Syllaby for sure, but I use CapCut for everything. Longer videos, I use like the desktop app, or if I'm just in a grind mode where I need to make a bunch of videos. These ones are memes, so they're not really they're not heavy editing, but yeah, just basically CapCut. But some of my channels that are more cartoonish, lower age range, like the 17 to 24, like my Rick and Morty channel, I would probably use Syllaby for that kind of stuff.
How
But with
does that
Syllaby, I
work
do
though?
tend to swap out the images often.
So would you create the script with Syllabi and then swap out the images with Rick and Morty images? Is that what you're thinking?
I have honestly never made a script in Syllabi. When I hit the kind of like the AI generate on the script, it gives me a very typical ChatGPT style response, which I am like a huge I can't stand it. Like I hate ChatGPT responses. The whole how do I say it? Like it is kind of like the whole catching themselves on ChatGPT. Like they're so careful about things, that everything has to have like a really offbeat hook. They're like if you say, "Hey, create me a really engaging YouTube video script for this," it'll start it off with like, "Hello, fellow YouTubers. Like, welcome to my channel today. We'll be talking about, you know, life after having a kid." It really like cheesy stuff that does not relate to anyone. And then at the end of the video, it does that awful kind of conclusionary stuff, where it's just like, in summation, it always uses the words like, it had a profound effect on this and this and this, and it just gives this long, drawn out conclusion. And then through the video, if it says anything that it even detects, like even a single word that it detects as like something even bad, controversial, or could be, it like sits there and just regurgitates itself with disclaimer stuff. like if your story is like, and then he picked up the butter knife and started buttering the toast, it'll just go into like why knife safety is so important, and all this stuff. And especially if it has anything political, I imagine you probably run into that a lot with Bible stuff, where constantly is trying to disclaimer itself. So yeah, I've just always avoided that. You're not going to get a good video out of that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's
I would
really
have to
interesting. It's
look.
good,
Do
good
you
information.
always use it? Do you use it successfully?
I will stay like I stated last week. I've never actually listened or watched any of my videos. So, I mean, they get views and watch hours, and they're biblically correct.
There's more than one way to skin a cat. Like you're doing you're doing a volume based strategy, and it's really working for you. Like get the content out there, and there's that. I see a lot of Bible channels kind of take that route, where they're just like, our subscribers can't get enough of our videos, so we might as well give them as many to consume as possible. Have you found that to be true?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go a little lighter next month because of that. So I want to do more higher quality and see if that switches my channel up. Because, like, at first, I'm always afraid that if I'm gonna have a video there that somebody likes, they're not gonna have another video to go watch on my channel. So doing a whole bunch like the first month gets you a nice little base for your channel, and then move into more higher quality stuff. It probably doesn't make sense to anybody else but me, but
No, it does. I mean, you got higher quality in what sense? Like, could you be more specific? Because again, I learned from you. That's why I ask you so many questions. I learned from you guys. What do you mean by
So,
higher
like,
quality? Do you mean like higher quality editing, higher quality scripting, both?
scripting, definitely. The banned book one, I just told ChatGPT what I wanted, and when it did the first script, I was like, just continue. And then it finished a whole nother 8-minute section, and I was like, continue. And then I continued again. And then I generated it all. And as I'm kind of glancing through it, I'm like, oh, well, that subtitles in that video and that video and that video. And I just smashed all those videos together. So that one section got repeated 3 times.
Oof, yeah, there's a lot of repeating
Yeah.
there.
And
then probably a lot of concluding as well. You probably, like, if you did it in 3 parts, it probably concluded 3 times, huh?
Yeah. And I didn't like, that's how little I cared this month. I generated, smashed together, shoved out. So, in here, I can. Let me.
Yeah, show us. You got subscribers out of it for sure.
Yeah.
You've been growing like crazy. Yeah.
Let me swap back to that channel.
Casey, are you getting a lot of repeat viewers?
I would have to check. I can't even tell you. I've gotten to the point this month where I signed up and sold a website that is like 200 pages, and I've got to complete it this month. So I've really just been throwing content out and not checking anything. So it's at 50 likes. It has. Come on, finish loading. 2,400 views and 385.9 watch hours and 29 subscribers.
Whoa.
That's huge.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, just for
What was your average
something that
view
I know
duration on
repeats
that?
itself. It's let me look. 9 minutes 38 seconds.
Wow. And you know, like, this is what I read. I have no experience with this whatsoever, but they say like the magic number on the average view duration for long form is 10 minutes. You know, kind of like 80% on shorts. You know, the average or chose to view. How many chose to view? Like 80% is like kind of the magic number. And I found that to be true. But they say 10-minute average view duration on a long form is kind of the magic number to just send it big. So if you got that many likes, that many views, like, and you're like at least right on that edge of 10 minutes, you know, there may still be more for that video to give you.
Yeah, I mean, so I've got 3 videos that are still averaging between 300 and 500 in the 48 hours. And these videos are like 2 weeks, 3 weeks old.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. That's why
So
next month I'm going to shift it
that's what
up.
convinced you. Yeah, you're just like,
Yeah.
well, after seeing that, you're like, man, imagine if I would have like put a little bit of editing time into this one here.
Yeah. Yeah, because the other 2 are like 8 to 9 minute videos. So if I would have spent some time and made them really good 35-minute videos, it would have done a whole lot better. Like I already have my script for my next one ready. It's not going to go out till November 1st, but it'll be part of November's challenge or content for me.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good strat.
That's good.
Can I ask you guys something? So one of the big mistakes I found, like immediately on YouTube, like as soon as I start uploading, is the people who dislike a video not because they don't like the video or the information, but because they don't like the subject matter. That was probably one of my biggest learning things from moving from TikTok to YouTube is that dislike button. You know, like for instance, an example would be I uploaded one like how rich was Saddam Hussein, right? And it just went through like when he got taken out of power or whatever. Here is like his assets. He had this many homes worth this much. He had gold worth this much and stuff like that. Like the guy was like insanely wealthy. Like it was no joke. So it was a super interesting video in that sense. Like he had underground like bunkers filled with gold bars, like just filled. You know, you probably see the movie like Free Kings or whatever, but that was true. Like he really had that much wealth. So like the video in that sense was interesting, but man, people just like dislike, downvoted, slam that thing to the ground. Why? Because they don't like Saddam Hussein. You know, like it was, you know, they're like it got a ton of comments of people thought it was interesting, but you go look at that dislike ratio and it was like, you know, like 20 likes and like 300 dislikes. You know, it just got absolutely bombed.
How does that affect everything?
What's that?
How do the dislikes affect your overall success of the video?
Oh, it killed the video. Yeah, I mean, it had a great view ratio. It had a great view duration. Even had rewatches, shares, everything like that. But the dislike ratio absolutely killed it. Now, I mean, I can't be 100% on that because my channel was only a few days old. You know, it could have just been like, oh, you have a young channel, like your video is going to get killed no matter what. So, not to discount that. But do you guys, having a little more experience than me, do you guys have any like where the subject matter is hurting or helping your video, not because the video is bad or good, you know, where there's that disconnect of people will just dislike something simply because they don't like the topic or the subject matter of it?
I really haven't had that too much. I've had dislikes because of maybe people have seen similar content on other channels, or like they might say that whatever fact that I'm saying is not true. But yeah, and a few people like really dislike the AI generated stuff. But you're always going to get that.
I found that to be true too, but my audience is extremely old males, so it's 45 to 65 plus is my audience for my YouTube channel. So I don't get as much of that, but my earlier videos, I kind of went to a wider audience. Yeah, I definitely saw that the younger people do not like the AI generated. Is that something?
Yeah, my
like to master watch out for?
my One Piece channel that I made, with the AI generated images. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like in one of them, Luffy was a girl instead of a guy, so it did not do a good job generating the right images. And at that point, nor did I care to fix the images. And the bad part is, like I was saying last week with them, it got, especially on TikTok, it got comments. I mean, and it got a lot of hateful comments, but there were still comments. So it drove traffic and engagement. And as soon as Syllaby released the where you can replace your own images, I started swapping out the images. Well, the comments died down, but so did the views because there was less engagement on them. So it would either upset a lot of people,
I know.
get more views.
I know
or
One Punch is an anime or manga or something like that, but I'm not familiar with it. What is he in the content? Is he a girl, or did your like images make him a girl? Is that what happened? Which one?
So in the content, he's a guy, and then Syllaby in the auto-generated images made him a girl. And
That is fun.
He was a. I'm trying to figure out how to say this on a YouTube channel. He had the face of a guy and the body of a girl. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not a pretty picture.
So he just
shoved
got
it out there anyways.
went the other way with it. That's funny.
Yeah.
That is a big trick I used on TikTok a lot, is driving comments by being wrong. It's not something you can get away with every time. But if you're in a desperate pinch, you could always do that because people love correcting. I think I haven't done this with my YouTube channel, but since it's all old males, then I know it'll work. One example is on my TikTok. I had one. It was a video of a fox. You may have actually seen this video. It went pretty popular. It was a video of like a coyote runs across the possum, and the possum plays dead, fools the coyote, and then the coyote like pees on the possum and walks off. So the possum survives. It's a happy story. The possum gets away, a little wet than he was before, but he gets away. But it's really drawn out. There's no way to like crunch this down into a video. Like, you can't just like bring it right onto the exciting part. You can't push back. And I was just sitting there like, what do I do? This is a good video. If people watch it, they will like it, they will share it. But like, how do I get this to really drive the engagement? And so I went with the being wrong thing. And I just put it up at the top. I just says, possum fools fox. All I did was change coyote to fox. I'm from BFE, Oregon. I know the difference between a coyote and a fox, obviously. But it was like subtle. So I put that in there, and just comments flooding. That's a coyote, not a fox. That's a coyote, not a fox. Ripping on me, ripping on everyone in there that says, oh, what a cute fox. Everyone goes, it's not a fox, is a coyote, and it just drove up the comments where there was more comments than views. And then it sent it really viral. So if you see it, you'll probably still see my caption on that top where it calls it a fox, And I feel like if I hadn't have done that, the video probably wouldn't have gone anywhere. It probably would have gone to 1,200 views, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
But then you bring up a really legit strategy for sure.
Huh.
I'm gonna look at my
All right.
channel, see if I can. Like, if you employ that, I'm gonna look at my channel and see if I can find something that or I've done something similar.
Eli, would it be possible to see your YouTube channel and what you've been doing with Syllaby?
Yeah, for sure. Let me happy to.
And for those who are watching online, feel free to ask any questions that you might have about Eli's channel or us in general, or based on your own experience with Syllaby and YouTube.
Oh yeah, I mean, I feel pretty unqualified to answer questions, but I will give my best at it. And I apologize. I have an editing. I'm on my laptop, and I have an editing computer that I just remote into. So I don't even have it set up to where I can even view my channel. Well, I guess I can go directly to it, huh? No point in being complicated. So this is my little baby right now at Unraveled Podcast. I try not to share it, but I think I'm getting enough subscribers to where if people who aren't directly in my niche or find me organically, I'm pretty comfortable with them taking a look at it or whatever. As Casey knows, I'm kind of paranoid about it because I feel like I'm in the process of training YouTube. A little more bluntly, train it like a dog, teach it, this is good behavior, this is bad behavior, this is my audience, this isn't, this is my channel. It's on modern history and deep dive. So it's anything interesting modern history, and then I like the deep dive aspect. One, because I like deep dive videos. Those are my favorites, where they just go hardcore into a topic for an hour to 3 hours. I absolutely love those. Specifically, to list a few examples, there's a video on the invention of the blue LED light. That's absolutely fascinating. Another one's on Deep Blue, the supercomputer that played chess, hearing that story. So that's kind of my aim with it. I just haven't really fully accomplished it. Oh, I do have a great example here. My very first video I uploaded is the Steele dossier. So Hillary Clinton's secret weapon to take down Trump. And it goes through, it's completely non-biased video. It just dives into this is how, if you don't know, the Steele dossier started with Republicans. The Republicans created the Steele dossier, opponents of Donald Trump during the 2016 primaries. And then when he got the nomination, They said, "Oh, we don't care anymore." And then the Democrats obviously wanted it, and it just kind of spiraled out of control, and all this stuff. But it comes like a fascinating, very legitimate, um, you know, uh, researcher out of the UK that works in like Russian research. So it's an absolutely fascinating story. So I like stuff like this, where even though I'm not very political, I like to hear how this thing progressed into the whole thing. I mean, it eventually got the guy impeached. That's how big of a deal this was. So I thought it would be a great one to launch. But people do not like. You can see with the 85 views here, people do not like unpartisan or unbiased political videos, even though it really doesn't even talk about the politics and the political characters. But they like videos. If they like Hillary Clinton, they like videos that are like, Hillary Clinton did the right thing with the Steele dossier and Trump was bad. And if people like Trump, they only want to hear a video saying how evil Hillary was and how bad Trump was, or how good Trump was. So this kind of video, even though I put a lot of work into it, was a real learning experience for me, because it taught me that the subject matter, people care, So then I kind of went into more generic stuff where there is no controversy on the subject matter. There's no reason for someone to be one way or another, like how private military companies control the world. Basically, it talks about PMCs, stuff like the Wagner Group, and how all these private military companies, like, they make an absolute boatload of money, but once they go in and defend your country, they're going to have control over your country. Like, they're going to, control what other wars you get into and other skirmishes and stuff like that. So this is the kind of stuff that's interesting to me. But since then, I've gotten a little more cartoony with it. Like, my most recent video is most epic punches by historical figures. Why you never won the McDonald's Monopoly stuff game that was in the 90s. Stuff like that, because I feel like that is going to bring me more success than the time emus conquered Australia. That's going to bring me more success than stuff where I'm too modern history. Like, I'm like talking to stuff that people are upset about right now. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that for sure, or questions from the group in chat.
Well,
I
I'm
haven't done
really
anything
curious
super
about how
modern.
you're deep diving into all this topic. Like, is the content, is it all Syllaby created content, or is it your own edits in there?
This right here, like these first ones are in video, and then I switched to Syllaby. So
Right.
this is the Formula One. This is where I first tried the mashup thing. Once they allowed 10-minute videos, I just mashed it together for the history of Formula One. This is Syllaby. This is Syllaby. This one's not. This is one of the older videos. I just took too long to upload it. Syllaby and Syllaby, yeah. And I really want to do what Casey is talking about, or kind of like what I do with the Formula One, where I mash up multiple 10-minute videos. But
yeah,
it's hard, man, because like the other day I tried to make a video that was 6 minutes long, and it failed 4 times in a row. And then the first time I had to do a bunch of imagery generations. And then by the time I got that thing working and uploaded, I looked and I'm like, oh, geez, I just spent like 80% of my entire monthly credits.
Wow.
Just on one video that was only 6 minutes. So to do that, 2 to 3 times to make a 30-minute or 20 to 30-minute video, that's a little sketchy.
Yeah. I really like your thumbnails as well. Do you create them yourself?
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this one, I can kind of give some insights there, because it was a little surprising. This video does really good. Okay, now the private military companies. Can you see? I don't know. Maybe I can zoom in better for you. That might. So the worst one was this Formula One. You could probably guess that.
Yeah.
This one also did terrible. This one does really good. This is the one from his, where he did that mastermind on thumbnails. And
Yeah.
he said, like, put one thing in front, one thing in the back. And he critiqued this, but he predicted it would do right, and it did good. But this one in particular has been doing really well. One of the things, because I've been in internet marketing since '96, so I create a lot of ads, and this one has something special to it, and I love to do. Sorry, I'm trying to remember. Uncanny Valley. Do you guys know what that is? You ever heard that term?
No.
It's super interesting. It's dumb, but it's super interesting. Uncanny Valley is the human's innate sense of what is close to a human, but is not. It's a weird evolutionary trait that people think we have, where like we can spot something that looks human, but we know that it's not, no matter how close it is. It's the theory that like AI and robots will never be able to fool humans because we have such a good instinct on it. Like we can spot like one thing that's slightly off about a robot talking, like the way their jaw moves or something like that. And the theory goes absolutely wild, but it's absolutely true. Like South Scary movies, make a monster and stuff like that. But the theory goes absolutely wild. I won't get into it, but it thinks like we used to be hunted by predators that were like vampires, and it goes crazy. But we could spot that they were vampires because we have this innate sense about us that can spot things that are inhuman. So it's absolutely true. Like your eyes it triggers something in your brain when you see something that's non-human on a human figure. So the eyes are a big trick I use in ads. Like I can split test an ad where it is a girl holding up a weight loss supplement. And then I can just change her eye color to an unnatural eye color. Like not even like going red. Like I can just go like a blue that isn't an eye color blue, or like a yellow or orange or something like that. And I can just change the pupil color to just a different pupil color. And that ad with the different pupil color, even though you would never like notice it, and the image isn't even that big on the ad, will get a vastly higher click-through rate, simply because I just changed her eye color on it. Wow. So with a lot of my little tricks, with internet marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, I bring that into my thumbnail creation, and I'm not masterful at it yet. I'm not that great, but I appreciate the compliment. And I do take stuff like Uncanny Valley theory into it. And he really tore this one apart, and rightfully so. I think it got like a 1.7% CTR. But this one has a massive CTR. You can see even though they're only 2 days apart, and my channel was only like 2 days old, it got a massive amount more views than the other. But just changing someone's eye color, changing their like tooth shape, people will absolutely notice every time, whether they realize it or not. But he brought up a lot. I learned a lot from his masterclass, or his little mastermind Zoom thing, about using like a shocked look like this one does, moving action into it, everything like that. I'm playing around and trying to like incorporate some of that stuff and learn from my own mistakes.
Are you using Photoshop for this?
You guys have been doing it longer than me.
Eli, are you using Photoshop for this or Canva?
Previously, I was using Photoshop, but Casey and I think was it Nicole just recently brought me to Leonardo.
Okay.
This one right here is my best performing thumbnail right now, the Monopoly one, and that was made in Leonardo. I love it.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah,
Nico says that master class about thumbnails was great. It really was.
Yeah.
Like,
is that on the
rewatch
Syllaby?
it even if you weren't there.
Is that on the Syllaby YouTube channel?
Yeah, that was the one with Jeremy Vess.
Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. And is your objective, Eli, to get monetized here?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you incorporate any affiliate marketing with this?
No, I had no real intentions of that. But I mean, I could. I don't know. What do you guys think? Here's my strategy. I'll tell you my strategy, and I want you to just tear it apart. Like, if I'm just dead wrong, I would love to hear it from you guys before I get really into it. But my channel's actual name is like just Unraveled, but I added the podcast because you can use like Podbean or other podcasting platforms to automatically insert ads into your videos, like the sponsorships, and then it gets distributed to your Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and all that stuff, and then even your YouTube, like you get monetized on the YouTube as well, views, and they paid like just like right on the average is about $15 RPMs. That's baller in my opinion. So when I kind of read that, I was like, well, yeah, I'll just add the word podcast to whatever channel name I come up with, gain an extra 15. I'm going to have to eventually insert, ad placements into the videos anyways. Why not just do it and get $15 RPMs rather than deal with affiliate links and Birch and all that stuff. I mean, I don't plan on having like super fans out of a Faceless channel, but I don't know. That's my strat. What do you guys think?
So that's really, I've never heard of that before. So run me through how that works. You have to subscribe to like Podbean or something. Is that what you said?
Yeah. So there's podcast marketplaces. And all the platforms typically have their own. So Podbean is just a distribution platform. So you upload your episode to Podbean, and it puts it on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, all the different podcast stuff. But it has its own marketplace where you can select advertisers, like you see on YouTube a lot. You see like KiwiCo. That's coming from YouTube's collaborator marketplace that they have, I think. I don't know, I've never been in it. You have to have like a blue check mark to qualify for that or something. But you see like KiwiCo on like every video. It's the same thing. And like every podcast, you see like the same sponsors. They're just coming from those marketplaces. So like I'm using Podbean as my distribution because I don't want to sit there and go and upload to each and every platform every time I make a long form video. And Podbean has their own marketplace. So I just check the box saying insert ad. And when I upload the video, I can just pick where I want the ad to end up at. And then I get paid an RPM for all those views. And the RPMs are actually pretty baller. So, or at least they should be. I don't know.
But you have to have podcast in the name.
No, but it makes it a little more sellable if I'm new and it claimed to be a podcast, but I'm really just kind of making video content.
All right. And then, so are you turning your videos into podcasts then? Is that, or have I misunderstood this?
Well, that was my plan, was just to export, when I export the long form videos, like the really long ones, like the 20, 30 and hour long ones, to also export the MP3 audio and then upload them. But with like Podbean, they actually want the video version, because the video version, now that like Spotify loves video podcasts, and it'll actually give you bigger reach for it. You upload the video, they extract the audio. So if the user doesn't want to watch the video version, then they get the audio, but otherwise they'll show the video version as well. So now with at least Podbean, I just upload the video straight to it. And it extracts the audio from all the audio only platforms and puts in the video for all the video platforms.
That's great.
It can even upload to YouTube. I'm not that gutsy, to try it.
It seems like something that all of us should really be doing, right?
Well, gosh, I don't know. That was going to be my question to you. Was like, is this a stupid idea? Like, I mean, I don't see a lot of people doing this. Eco says, yes, I thought about that, to do it as live sessions. That's a smart idea. I see his point.
Yeah, so I did it about 2 years ago when me and another buddy were trying using live sessions and just downloading the audio from Restream. But I mean, 2 years ago, they didn't have Podbean was around, I believe, but not the auto insertion of the ads. I kind of like that.
Does it cost you anything? Does what cost? Oh, FYI, YouTube has podcasts. You can go to your customized channel and add podcasts and add the episodes. I haven't done that.
This changed in the last little bit. You actually have to have a podcast thumbnail and title and description for your podcast, but then you can add your videos to it. So, like, I'm doing the Google Notebook LM and making podcasts from it, and I put it in a podcast playlist. So I'm like, can you monetize AI content as a podcast? The bad part is with the LM, they're like 8 minutes long. Yeah, Podbean.
Yeah, Podbean. Yeah, it costs.
Yeah, it's like $14 a month.
Yeah. It's also, I don't know if I've used it. I've been uploading to it, but I don't know if it's particularly good or if there's a better one. I asked a couple of my friends who run podcasts, and they say, oh, we just manually upload to all the platforms. I didn't get a good answer. I asked around, like, what's a good one, or what's the best one? But I don't actually know. But yeah, $14 a month sounds about right. Maybe 50, I don't know, or 14 to 40, I don't know.
Yeah, it's 14,
I'm also very
40,
interested in
or 100.
Yeah. I'm also very interested in turning on the podcast feature on YouTube. I'm just not sure if now's the right time to do it, or if I should have maybe done it at the beginning of the channel. Shoot, I don't know. I don't want.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if there's any answer to that.
Yeah, for these videos we're doing, like right now, I did make a podcast on my channel for him.
Is there anyone in the chat who has created a podcast before that can give some insights into this? Like, please feel free to tell us if you have any recommendations, because I'll delete Podbean and switch to another one right now. or on this call.
I'll hit up a couple people this week that I know that do podcasts and see if they have any ideas.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I mean, the marketing behind podcasts is absolutely great. You literally get you're like siphoning in money from every angle if you're a podcast. I like the business aspect of it. You can have every social media for your podcast. You automatically get, a fan base pushed to that social media. And then you get like over double the monetization, and then, shout out to your last week's video that you guys put out about the notebook LLM. I find that super interesting. Like, what has been your experience with that so far? I know you guys were kind of talking about it at the end there, so you probably had to wrap up, but I would have loved to hear more.
Like
you guys could make like a call me or call her daddy like podcast out of your AI.
No, I uploaded. Basically, I tried different things to get like Charles Spurgeon religious videos in there, and the only way I could get it to work the way I wanted to was to remove all the other files and just straight do like copy and paste the Charles Spurgeon sermon in there, and then it stayed on topic the way I wanted it to. But it's like 8.5 minutes. I mean, it's amazing. If you like, I played it for my parents just to get their reaction, and they thought it was two people talking about his sermon.
Yeah.
Do you have like a template you can show us right now, or I mean, if not, I understand. But
a what for it?
Oh, like a snippet, like just play like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, let me swap to that channel real quick. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I did 2, and they're getting about 30 to 40 a piece, views a piece.
Mm-hmm.
So not horrible, but not like out of this world either.
Do you have any networks that you're targeting, like podcast networks? Do you know what I'm referring to?
Yeah.
I'm forgetting like the really popular one. iHeartRadio is a podcast network. The How Things Work network, where it has stuff they don't want you to know, and like all these other educational podcasts. There's like a really popular true crime one. I haven't listened to podcasts in a while. So, but there's all these networks that, if you get X amount of subscribers, you can go join them and get cross promoted and monetized further and all that benefits. Like, do you have any of those that you have your eyeball on if yours takes off?
No.
Just going for the views. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think that far ahead either.
Okay, Greg. Can you share my screen real quick?
Oh yeah, sure. 1 minute.
We'll wrap this up here in just a minute.
Cool.
Really stop to think about time, like what actually is. Mm-hmm. We measure clocks. Right. We even talk about time slipping.
That's loading.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's basically just a conversation between two people.
And did you use
Sounds
CapCut
really
for
good.
that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Yeah, so basically I just use CapCut. I used ChatGPT to do an image.
Yeah.
away or running out.
Yeah.
But actually grasping what
Oh my gosh, it is loading like crazy. But yeah, that's all I did was, and then use the auto caption generator. One thing that I learned with the auto generator for CapCut, you want to generate the descriptions or text on the screen before you add in like sound effects. The sound effects really jack it up.
Yeah, anytime you put something into CapCut, when you export it and put it into YouTube, it'll drop the decibel level on the volume. So you gotta bump yourself up about 10 to 15 decibels on every video you edit in CapCut before you export it.
Yeah.
Well, that is a really cool idea. I love it. I want to try it.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Yeah, you just got to play around with
ideas from the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's
Yeah,
amazing
maybe
that
we'll-
it's really easy, right? Like, you don't even need Syllaby to do it, and it creates a like perfect podcast. So yeah, if
Yeah, like
anyone's
for me,
it's like a good way to diversify your content strategy, I think.
yeah, that's basically what I'm using it for, is diversification and hours. So, and it takes, like, that one is 8.5 minutes, almost 9 minutes long. And it started playing again, 9 minutes long, and it took probably 15 minutes to make.
Oh wow!
So, and it's got 1 hour watch time. So I figured the more of them I do, the more it'll grow and do just fine. So
Wow.
we'll see how
Eco is
dedicated I
out.
want to get to them.
Eco says is asking. I'm sorry, I missed this question when you asked earlier, but how do you prepare your scripts, guys? Because it takes so long for me because it's about history and I verify data beforehand. So he's basically saying he always goes and verifies his data.
You want a professional's opinion or my answer?
Go on, Casey.
I assume he wants your answer.
Okay, so my answer is I generate the script. I do not read it. I shove it into Syllaby. I generate the video. I do not look at the video. I upload the video and just pray that it works.
Yeah, I know channels such as like Moon and Broccoli Bobby, like Windigoon, spend an incredible amount of time like researching their topics before they put out a script on it. I don't want to ever get to that level. I am not the person who enjoyed writing research or writing papers in high school, or book reports or anything. So I want to be a lower level of that. Like I want my stuff to like have the right information, but if it's not entirely accurate, I don't care.
Yeah. The comments will tell me if it doesn't work. So, and that just drives engagement. So
Comments will tell you if it doesn't work. Absolutely. They'll tell you like immediately.
Yeah.
It is a coyote, not a fox.
Yep.
it's actually really encouraging when you get comments that say it's inaccurate, because it just means like, for me at least, it's an opportunity for me to connect with that person and to like thank them for fact checking it. Say like, thanks, it makes my channel become a better place for more people, that type of thing. And yeah, use it to your advantage.
There was a post on Facebook about how to deal with negative comments. Man, you gotta have thicker skin. Like, don't take it personally. If someone doesn't like your video and they're telling you the what's what, and even worse than that, they're totally right with what they're saying. Yeah, exactly. I am known for my overthinking everything, researching over providing. Geez. And like what Nico is saying right there is even more true when they do find something wrong with what you're doing. Like, no matter how much work Nico is putting into a video, he is probably still getting comments correcting him. And you'll never be the toughest guy in the room, and you'll never be the smartest guy in the room. So, take it with a grain of salt. Engage with them. Like, just, if anything, if you do comment back, just comment back like, wow, thanks, I didn't know that. Or, thank them for taking the moment to impart their knowledge onto you. And even other commenters on there, people browsing your video, so if they correct you and I'm the stupid one, whatever,
Yeah.
I get paid either way. Like, I get paid by the hour, not so, kind of situation. Don't take it too personally.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, you said it.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. I know Greg has some things to take care of.
Yeah,
I should probably do some work today.
I think what I wanted to just mention in today's call really is like, whatever you guys are doing, like when you're creating this channel, think about what you're really trying to achieve. Because I think sometimes it's great when you're having a channel and getting views, but if you're just going for views, then okay, cool. But is it monetization on YouTube? Then if yes, then you have to think about how you're going to get your public watch hours up. So focus on that, or how to manipulate your content so it's going to be more attractive to get those views, those watch hours. Or is it affiliate marketing, which is more like the angle that I'm going for? So therefore, like, it's not always about like the number of views I'm getting, but obviously the more content I put out, the more views, the more potential clicks that I get, the more potential sales. So I think it's worth thinking about and putting a bit of a plan together so you know what you're trying to achieve. Case is a great example of he's got a goal in mind. He's trying to get monetization. He's tracking all of the content that he's putting out there, how many views he's getting, that type of thing. I think, not everyone has to go to that length of the detail, but it will certainly help your long game, I think, if you have a bit of a strategy in mind when you approach this. So, what are you guys thinking?
I feel that's some really good advice.
Yeah. Like everybody that I talk to, I'm like, pick your goal. If your goal is subscribers, do shorts. If you're trying to grab hours, add some longs in there. But figure out where your end target is, and then what steps you got to take to reach that end target.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling motivated just talking to you guys today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No, thanks for joining us, Eli. I hope to welcome you back here. Actually, I think you add a wealth of knowledge to the people viewing, and certainly to me. I'd never actually deep dived into someone's TikTok channel before and understood the thinking behind, selecting content, selecting what the hook should be, things like that. That was really insightful for me. So, thanks a lot for sharing that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, thank you. Anytime, I'm always happy to deep dive into that stuff. I find it absolutely interesting. So I really appreciate you guys. Yeah.
Cool. Well,
cheers,
for
brothers.
those on the call call still watching. We'll be back again next week. And of course, if you want to have your YouTube channel audited and checked by us, feel free to let us know and we can bring you on the call and we can deep dive into how we can help you. Otherwise, it's welcome to all. If you want to stay in the comments, send through your questions as you go, and even your YouTube channel, we can check it out live here as well. So yeah, I hope it's really helped you guys. It's certainly helpful for us. And so I guess with that, thank you all and say good night. So thanks, Eli. Thanks, Casey.
Later, y'all.
Appreciate it. All right. Take care.